I never believed in destiny. Not the kind people write poems about. Not the kind where stars align and somehow choose you. My life had always been ordinary, predictable in the quietest, most forgettable way possible. I worked at a maintenance facility on the outskirts of the orbital launch zone, fixing machines that no one else wanted to deal with. Rusted cargo lifters, malfunctioning scanners, broken things. I was good with broken things. That's probably why everything changed the night I smiled. Beginning the encounter. The facility was nearly empty that evening. Most of the crew had left early due to a scheduled atmospheric storm warning. The sky above the docking platform shimmered with electric blue streaks, signs of charged particles building up in the upper atmosphere. I stayed. Overtime meant extra credits, and extra credits meant maybe, just maybe, I could afford to leave Earth someday. That's when the alarm started. At first, I thought it was another malfunction. The system had been glitching all week. But this wasn't the usual dull buzz. This was sharp, urgent, alive. I ran toward the main hangar, my boots echoing against the steel floor. The massive doors had opened on their own, and beyond them something hovered. It wasn't one of ours. The ship was unlike anything I had ever seen, sleek, almost organic in design, glowing with soft silver light that pulsed like a heartbeat. It didn't look mechanical. It looked alive. I should have been afraid. Instead, I was curious. As I stepped closer, a section of the ship unfolded, not opened, but unfolded, like petals of a metallic flower. A ramp extended, touching the ground without a sound. And then she appeared. She wasn't what I expected. No towering monster. No terrifying creature from nightmares. She looked almost human. Tall. Graceful. Her skin shimmered faintly under the stormlit sky, like it carried starlight within it. Her eyes were unlike anything I had ever seen, deep violet, glowing softly, as if they held entire galaxies. She stepped forward slowly, studying me, and I froze. Not out of fear, but because something in her presence felt overwhelming. Not threatening, just powerful. She tilted her head slightly, observing me the way one might observe something fragile and unfamiliar. I realized then she had never seen a human before. And somehow, I was the first. There were 1,000 things I could have done in that moment. Run. Call security. Hide. Instead, I smiled. It wasn't planned. It wasn't strategic. It was instinct. A small, nervous, almost awkward smile. But the moment I did, everything changed. Her expression shifted. Not dramatically, not suddenly, but subtly, like something inside her had awakened. She stepped closer. Too close. I could feel the faint warmth radiating from her, hear a soft hum, like energy flowing beneath her skin. Then she spoke. You are not afraid. Her voice wasn't spoken in words I knew, but somehow I understood it. I swallowed. Should I be? She studied my face, and then something unexpected happened. She smiled back. It was hesitant, almost uncertain, as if she was copying something she had just learned. I have never seen this expression before, she said quietly. What is it called? Smiling, I replied. She repeated it softly. Smiling, and then she looked at me again, differently this time. Not as a subject, not as a curiosity, but as something important. You showed it to me, she said. I shrugged lightly. Yeah, I guess I did. There was a long pause. Then she said something that made my heart stop. You are mine. Middle, chosen by royalty. I laughed. I thought she was joking. She wasn't. Before I could say anything else, the ground beneath me shimmered with light. A field of energy wrapped around me, lifting me gently into the air. Wait! What are you doing? I shouted. You will come with me, she said calmly. I didn't agree to that. You smiled, she replied, as if that explained everything. And somehow in her world it did. The ship's interior was unlike anything human technology had ever achieved. The walls shifted like liquid metal, responding to her presence. Lights appeared and disappeared as she moved, guiding her path. I was placed gently onto a platform that adjusted to my weight and shape. You are not harmed, she said, watching me closely. I prefer being not kidnapped, I muttered. She frowned slightly, clearly unfamiliar with the concept. This is not harm, she said. This is selection. Selection for what? She stepped closer, her glowing eyes locked onto mine. For me. It didn't take long to realize something important. She wasn't just any alien. She was royalty. Her name was Alira, princess of a civilization far beyond Earth's reach, an empire that spanned entire star systems, a people who valued logic, strength, and superiority above all else. Emotion, she explained, was considered inefficient. Until now. You are different, she told me as we traveled through space. Your expression, your smile, it created a response within me that I cannot calculate. That's called feelings, I said. She tilted her head again. Explain. So I did. I tried to explain joy, connection, the strange, unpredictable nature of human emotion. She listened to every word like it was the most important knowledge in the universe. And maybe to her it was. When we arrived at her world, I realized just how serious this was. Her planet was breathtaking. Vast cities floating above glowing oceans, structures that seemed to defy gravity and logic itself. Everything was precise, perfect, and cold. No laughter, no warmth, just order. When she introduced me, everything changed. This human, she declared before a gathering of tall, imposing figures, is the one I have chosen. The room fell silent. One of the elders stepped forward. Chosen for what purpose, princess? She didn't hesitate. He is my future husband. I choked. I'm sorry, what? But no one laughed. No one questioned her tone. Only her decision. This is illogical, another elder said. A lesser species. He made me feel, she interrupted. That single statement shook the room. Feelings are irrelevant, the elder insisted. They are not, she replied firmly. They are power. And he awakened them. All eyes turned to me. And suddenly, I wasn't just a mechanic from Earth anymore. I was something else. Something dangerous. The conflict. Not everyone accepted her decision. In fact, most didn't. I could feel it in the way they looked at me, the way they whispered, the way their gazes lingered just a little too long. I wasn't welcome, and I wasn't safe. Alira, however, remained unwavering. You are under my protection, she told me. Does that actually mean anything here? I asked. She paused. Yes. That hesitation told me everything. The first attempt came 3 days later. I was walking through one of the lower corridors when the lights flickered. The air grew colder. Then they appeared. 2 figures, cloaked in dark armor, their movements silent and precise. You should not exist here, one of them said. Yeah, I've been getting that vibe, I replied. They attacked without warning. I barely had time to react. But before they could reach me, the air exploded with light. Alira. She moved faster than I had ever seen, her form glowing with intense energy, her eyes burning like stars. The attackers didn't stand a chance. Within seconds, they were gone. Not dead. Erased. She turned to me, her expression unreadable. Are you harmed? No, I said, still catching my breath. But I'm starting to think this whole chosen thing isn't as romantic as it sounds. She stepped closer. It is not meant to be easy, she said quietly. Then why do it? She looked at me, and for the first time, her voice softened. Because when you smiled, I felt something I had never felt before. She placed her hand over her chest. And I do not want to lose it. Ending, a new beginning. The final challenge came from within her own family. The emperor, her father. He summoned us both. His presence was overwhelming, not just physically but mentally. It felt like standing before something ancient and unyielding. You have disrupted the order of our people, he said. I have evolved it, Alira replied. His gaze shifted to me. And you, human, do you understand what you have done? I shook my head. Not really. Your existence here creates instability, he continued. Conflict, division. Yeah, that tends to happen when you bring something new into a system, I said. He studied me carefully. Why did you smile at her? The question caught me off guard. I don't know, I admitted. It just felt right. There was silence. Then, unexpectedly, the emperor leaned back. Then perhaps, he said slowly, that is what we lack. Alira's eyes widened. Father. Emotion, he continued. Unpredictable, illogical, yet powerful. He looked at her. You have chosen this path. You will face its consequences. I accept them, she said without hesitation. He nodded. Then so be it. The decision was made. Not easily. Not completely accepted. But allowed. I never returned to Earth. Not because I couldn't, but because I chose not to. My life there had been simple, predictable. Here it was anything but. I stood beside Alira as she took her place among her people, not just as a princess, but as something new. A bridge between logic and emotion, between worlds. And sometimes, when things grew overwhelming, when the weight of everything threatened to crush us both, I would do the one thing that started it all. I would smile, and every time she would smile back. Because in a universe ruled by power, logic, and control, one simple human smile had changed everything.